Hi, welcome to today's pep talk, spring cleaning. It is April and officially we are into spring. And it's that time of year when the trees begin to bud and the flowers start to bloom and people start having thoughts of renewal and maybe even rebirth. And so I thought it might be nice for this month's pep talk to reflect back on February's pep talk, which was keep it simple, silly, and look at some of the things that maybe you're inspired to do this month. For example, I know springtime can encourage people to want to do some spring cleaning. And that spring cleaning could be their home, it could be their body, it could be their work life, their personal life, it could be a whole host of things. And my hope is that this month you will choose one thing that you would like to clean, so to speak, and make that your priority for this month and really focus on that. And in February, we talked about keeping it simple. So with this month, I want you thinking about the goal that you have and how you can break that into smaller pieces to make it more attainable. So by the end of April, you have actually accomplished the very thing that you've been focused on all month. So if you wanted to clean your house, or if it's clean a room, or if it's files, or if you're wanting to eat healthier, or to be more physically active, or look for a new job, I want you to think about ways that you can break that into smaller pieces and that you can be working on it every day for the entire month of April. Now, I know sometimes people get frustrated and they think, okay, what's the point if I'm taking these tiny little baby steps? They're just not big enough to feel like I'm really making an impact. It's remembering that every little step you take gets you to the end result, which is the big step. So know that this is a process. This is one step at a time, and it's about getting to the end result, but it's also about making permanent change in your life. And for most people, if they take tiny steps, it doesn't feel as overwhelming, and they actually are able to make that then a part of their life and accomplish the goal easier than if they try to make really big steps. So going back to some of those examples that I gave, let's say you're wanting to look for a new job. Sitting down and getting onto maybe career builders, and maybe you schedule out time every week where you're looking for a job. Maybe we even have to back that up a few steps and go back to actually even getting your resume done. And maybe it is scheduling, on your schedule, time that you're going to sit down and work on your resume. And it doesn't mean that your resume has to be completed in one sitting. It could be something where you work on it for 15 minutes and that's it. But maybe you work on it for 15 minutes for 3 or 4 days in that week, or for the next 2 weeks until it actually gets accomplished. And then the next step would be going on to Career Builder or signing up for some of the different job memberships that you can sign up for. And then maybe it's starting to talk to people and doing some networking. Break that down into smaller pieces and make it more attainable for yourself. If you're somebody who's wanting to clean your house, and it truly is your entire house that you're wanting to clean, let's break that into smaller pieces. Let's start with one room. And then in that one room, the experts in organizing and cleaning state that you break that room then into quadrants. So you start in one quadrant, and let's say in that one quadrant there is a desk. Maybe you start with one drawer of that desk, and you go in and for 3 or 4 times during that week, or maybe even once a week, you go in and spend 15, 20, 30, and minutes to an hour, however much time you've allotted for yourself to work on cleaning that drawer. And then you move to the next drawer, and then it's the next drawer, and then it's the top of the desk, and then you move out from that into other parts of the room. Starting with that one area and giving yourself a certain amount of time, or even if it's just going to be, I'll get just that drawer done. But allowing yourself to break it into smaller pieces so it's more attainable. And then again, by the end of the month, think about how much you will have accomplished. I know mail can be something that's very overwhelming for people. They have a tendency to pick it up at the mailbox and then set it on their table or on their breakfast bar, and then it piles up and piles up and piles up, and then it becomes really overwhelming. So if you have a stack of mail, maybe it is allowing yourself 30 minutes every evening while you're watching a TV show. You sit down and you just sort through the mail, and you have your pile for shredding, you have your pile for trash, you have your pile for filing, and then you have your pile for where you actually need to do something with it. And you simply start off with going through all of it, having those piles, and then actually going and doing something with those piles. Again, breaking it down into smaller pieces and giving yourself an amount of time, or making it a little bit more attainable than it feeling so overwhelming that I have to sit down and I'll have to spend my entire Saturday going through all the mail and sorting it and filing it and doing all of that. Break it into smaller pieces. So I encourage you for this spring and for the month of April, pick one thing that has been on your list of things to do and make that your focus for the month of April, and break it into smaller pieces. Feel free to leave a comment on my Facebook page if you are maybe needing some assistance in how to do that, or leave a comment on how you did it and it was effective for you, or even leaving it on the blog page of my website and providing some feedback to other people. So it's April, it's spring cleaning, and whether that's your house, whether that's yourself, whether it's your health, whatever it is that you want to work on, I encourage you to take this spring to choose one thing and work on breaking that into smaller pieces and making it more attainable, and then just feeling so good at the end of April when you've accomplished as much as you have. Thanks for joining me today, and please do one thing today purposefully to attain true PEP for life.